Good evening and welcome to Fireside Cast coverage of RGL 6's Season 17 main playoffs. Tonight we're going to have a first round playoff match between Supra 94tro.tf and Big Pharma. I'm M17. Joining me is Flaurosa and Dr. Underscore on production. How are you feeling tonight, Flaurosa?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about yourself tonight?
I'm amazing. What do you think about this game? Do you know have any special insight on any of these teams?
Unfortunately, I don't, but I do want to pick the team with the funnier name, so I might go and lean Big Pharma.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different players in here with varying levels of experience. I know. In terms of the teams, I guess we'll run down those right now. We might as well. Um, we can. I guess we'll start with Supra.tf. And for Supra.tf, we have. Excuse me, 1 second. It's sorry about that. It's Oak on Pocket Scout, JFK on Flank Scout, Spoon as a ringer on Pocket Soldier, Rose as roamer, Demoman is iron, and Cats is medic. And then going over to Big Pharma, we have Shoe Shocker on Pocket Scout, Frup Cup on Flank Scout, Flak on Pocket Soldier, Roamer is Esog, Avoid Joker or Avid Joker is Demo, and Smiley is medic. I think for the Super TF team, I think they're a mix of a few different groups of players, but I know most of the Big Pharma team is a team that placed, I think, 5th to 6th last season in IM. So they've done pretty well already getting to playoffs after their first season. Oh, and I guess I also should mention the maps are going to be tonight. Let me pull this up again. It's Gullywash map 1, Bagel map 2, and if we need a decider, it's going to be Clear Cut. Yeah, interesting. 2 Koth maps potentially.
That'll always be fun. Everybody needs a little bit of Koth in their life.
Yeah, no, Koth is always very action-packed. I guess it's a good way to put it. Gullywash is going to be a lot different compared to these to the 2 Koth maps, so it'll be a very interesting departure when we eventually get over to that second map. Teams will probably be ready up soon, so we'll probably be going live shortly. Besides that, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what these two teams have. So far, this is the only playoff match for Maine that hasn't happened yet, or the first round playoffs. It's top eight double elimination, excuse me, for this season. So the first round matches have already happened, and the winner of this match, I believe, will go on to face Chief Keef, if I have that right. Yes, that's correct. The winner of this match will go on to face Chief Keef, which is the second seed, and the loser of this match will go on to face Omniside in the lower bracket, which was the seventh seed. How are you feeling about Gullywash?
I know it's a much more slow map than the Koth maps that we will be partaking in at least one of later. So I'm hoping to get at least a little bit of action on this map. But I do know it's very much a push and pull type of map. Where if you get that last hold set up, it's really difficult to knock it out.
Yeah, another thing I want to mention as well, since Spoonful is ringing on Soldier, it might be a little bit awkward for the higher seeded team, Supra, just because your soldiers on Gullywash are very important, and if one of them is suddenly different, it might cause some issues. Speaking of, we go into the matchups as well. In week 7, Big Pharma actually beat Supra on Sunshine 5-3. No Sunshine tonight, but a little bit of an interesting telltale. It's just because Super's the higher seed, it does not mean they have a guaranteed win, especially when they have a ringer. I think this is going to be a pretty close match. Not 100% sure what we're going to see from Spoon, especially because of that ringer situation. Missing all that coordination and time, with your team, being able to set up things, learning what you and the rest of your team feel comfortable with and aren't so comfortable with can be really huge. And having a ringer, as much as it is, I'm Spoonful as a solid enough player, having a ringer is always just going to be slightly difficult.
Yeah, especially as you mentioned when it comes to playing soldier in goalie. just the amount of dedicated sacks as well as different spots that you need to be can really determine a team's win or loss.
Yeah, and also on the second map, which is Bagel, soldiers are just so key in making sure they're always spotting the houses and using them to help take control and fight over point. That having your pocket soldier especially be different can definitely be a little odd, although it's not as bad as Roamer, I would say, because Pocket has a little bit more of a static playstyle on Bagel than Roamer, but still just those flanks can be really chaotic, and if you're not coordinated well on Bagel, those can be very detrimental to your team's overall success rate. Getting flanked in various different doorways is really fast on Bagel, considering how close it is. I think the teams are almost ready, so we should be going live shortly. Do you have any predictions for this first map?
As I kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, I don't really know much about both of these teams, so I just kind of want to pick the one that pops out more, and that's Big Pharma. So I'm gonna have my money on Big Pharma this time.
Yeah, I'm so unsure of what to see tonight. I feel like I'm gonna go. This is gonna be a 2-1 series, and I think Supra's gonna win this first map, even with the ringer. But then I think on Bagel and Clearcut, I have a feeling Big Pharma is actually gonna take this. I'm gonna take this as an upset here, but on this map, I think it's probably gonna be a little bit slow. We'll see, because having a ringer can definitely mess up some of your sacks and coordination with all those different types of plays. So I don't know. I'm predicting like a four. Let's say like a 3-2 for Super on this map. But anyways, we'll probably be getting going here shortly. Just doing some last minute coordination stuff. Hopefully everyone's having a good night tonight so far. Remember, by the way, don't forget to check out that Fireside merch in chat. There's a link right there, ideally. Don't forget to check that out, obviously. Shameless plug. Anyways. Yeah. I'm actually going to take a look at these weapons real quick, because I know Lock and Load has become a lot more popular recently for demos, especially. It looks like Iron for Supra is on Iron Bomber for now, and I think... Oh, we're actually going live, but Avoid Joker is actually on Lock and Load. But here we go. We're going live into this first mid on Gullywash.
Would you like to bring us in?
Sure, I will. Get a pretty normal rollout. Actually, no, as I say that, it looks like Avoid Joker is going to the other team's side. So we'll have a pretty quick confrontation here right at the start. Actually, yeah, it looks like Avoid Joker's just staying on the ground. Shoeshocker gets an early kill on JFK, trying to go for a fast flank. Rose gets a bomb, kills Smiley. A bunch of different trades happening. It's now 3v3. The side of Big Pharma was trying to collapse onto the medic, but Katz is very far out. So now it's just Frucked up trying to chase Spoon, who did manage to creep his way behind. He's actually managed to stay alive in River. And while Big Pharma did get mid, and they're going to have forwards, they're going to be down a big Uberad. Although, as I say that, wow, Supra is really far back. They're still all the way back in their river, finally coming back out into second. I think just waiting for those players, and we'll see a second push here momentarily, because they are close to Uber here.
Yeah, that was a very quick mid. We did see a little bit of a single-sided play, but we do have the Uber ad here of about 50% coming into this mid, as we do see Rose going for a little bit of a bomb onto Smiley. Oh, is that a pause?
A pause already. Let's hope that's just a technical thing and not a tactical thing. One other thing to point out here, they went through drop down with 4 players. Nobody was at choke. Flack was sitting on the little he was sitting on the little lamppost above choke, and he is mid-air about to bomb, but I think Rose saw him. I'm not sure if she did, but we'll see, because Flack is mid-bomb, and Katz is not looking at him, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there. JFK and Spoon are, I think, trying to slowly pressure out Frupcup, who's over here on this big door side, and Smiley is actually staying in choke for now. It looks like, oh, we're actually going right live immediately. Flack did go for the bomb, and Katz is all the way walking into big door. Rose and Spoon get 2 kills each, and that's 6v4. They have an Uberad. They're on mid, and they're capping that, but they're going to try to collapse this combo, and here they come. Here's the Uber. It's going to be dreadful on the side of Big Pharma, they're gonna get completely wrapped, and Katz does pick up the medigun as well, so Katz has a...
Oh,
never
snipering
mind!
forward!
Frumcup gets that kill, and never mind for that Uber ad.
It was a really clean shot coming out there. I'm gonna reconnect for HUD.
Yeah, I will do the same. Unfortunately, pauses caused some issues. We are on to last here. Finally, the med Cats does spawn up, but it's only like a 20% Uber ad on the side of Big Pharma, but it doesn't look like they want to push. Fruckup's already up on gun. Shoeshocker is hard building that Uber, and everyone else looks like they're just set up for the long haul. Actually, I see that right. A Void Joker is on the loose cannon right now. Interesting choice, but I think it's used a lot, or just used on last, just to make sure, you know, you just knock everybody around, make sure they don't feel comfortable in those small choke points for the pressure. It's actually turned into about a 35% Uber ad, but because, because Supra isn't building very well, but it looks like it's just going to even out. It looks like right now, Shoeshocker is... Yeah, he's spy checking. He was just checking for some off classes, and now he's scoped up on sniper. There's a level 3 gun. We are in this for the long haul, and that was the pause. It looks like that was just a wonder what that is. Oh, it's just some technical issues on the side of Supra. But here comes that pressure into last.
Yep, we do see the sniper watching River here getting a fully charged body shot onto Rose. Does get the headshot onto Iron here. Watching the shutter door, making sure that nothing is going to get past. They do come up Pyro here, trying to get a little bit of that spam down, while we do see Supra trying to get a little bit of a push going on here, possibly through shutters. We do see a scout going through River there, managing to get behind from water and get a lot of cap time, which will definitely delay Big Pharma from coming out here.
Yeah, it looks like JFK was able to just sit in the water there for a while. He was very much unspotted, and then he finally just decided, okay, I'm just going to go for the cap. Nothing happened. Shoeshocker is back on spy, off-class checking, but there's no off-classes this time, so I would assume he's going to switch right back onto Pyro for Sniper. As he's right back onto Pyro, Flak takes a lot of damage, is going to have to resub out. JFK, right back in water, trying to do a little dance around, but Shoeshocker is there to help out Esok. Here comes a bomb from Rose, who gets destroyed, but JFK went in as well, and they got a bit more cap time, but nothing of it. NG and Soldier were very low. Flak is already working his way in through River.
Yeah, at this point, I might just play for the reset, because time is already ticking down. We got a minute 30 left on the clock. You could possibly go for another play here, as we do see JFK come up here on Sniper, watching lobby, as we do see they are making their way out of last here.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying, but I think as soon as they saw JFK Sniper, they just kind of canceled. JFK, I think, has a lot of hours in MG, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some good sniping from him.
Oh!
Insta drop onto Smiley. That's huge, and that's going to allow them to push pretty quickly, especially because Frupcup's gun is not up. Looks like they're already working their way through River, and they'll be going in shortly.
Yeah, it does seem like JFK is just cleaning up these shots one after another, getting the headshot on the Pyro, onto the NG, almost getting the last one onto Flick, or onto Flak, my bad. As we do see the rest of, what is it called? The rest of Supra coming through and cleaning up that fight.
Yeah, just a lot of caught out players. They saw the sniper, but then Big Pharma were just not ready for it at all. It's like they didn't have their medic in a safe enough position, and then the Uber comes in, Shoeshocker gets destroyed by like some stickies instantly, which is very unfortunate for him, and then JFK just gets a shot onto the NG, which instantly wins them that fight, as we're already into this next mid here. This time Avoid Joker went choke like normal. Actually, Smiley got very hurt very early. Flak is going to get killed quickly by Oak. Spoon is behind in choke, and he's already in, but Shoeshocker grabs that kill very cleanly. Esog and Frupcup are behind, so Big Supra just walk forward and they take control of mid. They do have a player ad as well as having control of mid. There are two people behind, and they might try to stop JFK capping, but they don't get there in time. They're already going to try to stop that recap. There's a bit of fighting here going on. No kills really exchanged, but Rose is very low. I think she's going to get her way out, though the bow misses, so she almost dies. Esog is in, trying to get out, does get caught by JFK. Looks like we'll be back in a last hold situation.
Yeah, and it does seem like we have to build a little bit of Uber here, trying to make sure that they're able to get that possible exchange. As we do see Frup Cup come up on heavy here to avoid back caps, and we do see the exchange or the use coming through River here, as we do get the Uber onto the heavy to make sure that they cannot get any pressure on that point. As we do see two people die to iron for overextending here into River via traps.
Yeah, Iron just completely caught out the overextending. That was a scout and a soldier. Fruppup is going to get a kill onto Spoon, so I think that's going to cancel any push. Rose is still trying to work some sort of fight into Water. I think she's trying to get this kill onto Flak, but I think he's going to work his way out with the support of the Fruppup Heavy. They do know Rose is in Water, so Esog is trying to cut her off. And along with the Stickies, you think they will. They finally do catch her out, but it looks like they don't feel comfortable pushing, maybe? I mean, they still have Fruppup on Heavy, and... Actually, no, he does swap off. Oh, he swaps off to NG, so it looks like they're in for the long haul, but actually something interesting. JFK is on Sniper and Spoon is on Spy, but I don't think Shoeshocker swapped to Spy to Chet this time. I didn't see him do it, so they might not be ready for this double off class, which is definitely sneaky.
Yep, nothing quite like seeing a Spy play in sixes. It's always a fun little treat.
JFK already revealing himself. I think he got a body shot onto the NG, but nothing else came of that. So it's just going to turn into a little situation here. Spoon has worked his way into Secret. He's already climbing up. He's now at the blue spawn. He's got to be very careful to not bump. Probably have that disguise coming out soon. They don't know about the sniper, or the spy, excuse me. They have no clue. They're not even thinking about it because they're thinking about the sniper, I think. And Spoon is just creeping his way in here. We'll see who he gets. Oh, do they know? Yeah, they might know.
Oh, it looks like the decloak. No, oh! Something in the sound.
Yeah, I don't think they knew. They weren't really turning around, but that is brutal. The beef stab, and then he still just gets it anyways. They did lose a second player, so that's probably going to delay the push a bit, but my goodness.
Oh my goodness. As I said earlier, it's always a treat to see a little bit of Spy coming out. Oh man. That could have been one of the biggest whiffs. I'm very glad that they were able to clean that up and get that drop on that med.
Flak is doing an interesting little play, trying to get a 300 buff and trying to hide in the lockers, trying to get a free cheeky pick maybe, but it looks like he's decided to cancel. Finally, here comes Supra. They took their sweet time, but they wanted to make sure everything's good. Here comes the Uber, and they're double scouting, expecting the Shoeshocker Pyro, but they only finally get the gun, and they don't even get Shoeshocker on Pyro. Void Joker's in River, does get one kill and trades with the scout. Cats gets caught in. This is brutal. Here comes a bomb from Rose, but she doesn't get any damage up to Smiley, and that's a full wipe in favor of Big Pharma, and they're going to work their way right back out into second and take second, and it looks like they're going to have a 90% Uber advantage here, but that'll slowly dwindle away.
Yep, we do have to be checking here for off classes just in case one of them are hiding in forward. It does look like, what is it called? It does look like Big Pharma was able to get a little bit of a deny on two of Supra's soldiers there. So that should give them enough space and enough time to get something going on mid. And it does look like they are going for another drop-down play, as we do see Rose going for a little bit of a bomb, or a little bit of a jump here, possibly a bomb, as the rest of the team does end up wrapping around through elbow, and they do end up getting the force out there.
Yeah, but Spoon managed his way behind while this is happening, so Shoeshocker and Esog have to go back, because Esog, actually 4 people have to go back, and with that force, that's going to allow Supra to get their Uber out, and they're probably going to push mid with that shortly. They have about a 70% Uber out. That was an interesting set of events there, especially with Iron getting an early trap kill onto, I believe that was Frup Cup. They know about the traps here. They're staying very aggressive. This is interesting from Big Pharma. Supra should know they have ad. I think they're still just determining what they want to do, or maybe they lost track of Uber. I'm not sure. I think Oka's finally, yeah, okay, he's talking his way in. Shoeshocker gets the kill on Spoon, who was still caught behind, and here comes the push from Supra through choke.
And it does look like they go for the Scout Uber here, as we do see Scout leading with a little bit of demo behind. Mostly trying to work on this, or possibly was trying to catch out the med and get that Uber shut down before they did get it. But it does look like Cats gets caught out here. It does end up going down to Shoeshocker, as Oak does go for a little bit of a play. Smiley does end up getting forced by Spoonful here. So just trying to use that Uber to get a little bit of cleanup before the rest of their team slowly make their way onto second.
Yeah, that was really interesting. That was a soldier and a scout on the flank of Big Pharma. Managed to get through Big Door. They got in on the second, which brought the whole team back. And then Big Pharma just worked their combo in through choke. Unfortunately, Shoeshocker got a little too distracted with the scout and choke, and the soldier just completely got the free force off. But it's about even, so there's not really going to be anything going on. Actually, I think Big Pharma wants to pressure now before the Uber. Just want to catch them off guard. Don't let this gun set up. It's only level 1 on the side of JFK. It's also pretty close to Shutter, which is interesting. But as I said, that it looked like they were thinking about what they wanted to do, but right now they're deciding we want to go for the sentry kill. Well, Esau gets really low. Flak is going to kill the sentry pretty quickly. That's going to help out, and they do have Uber. It's probably a good time to go for that sack. Frupcup works his way into water. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it does look like Esau does get picked off here by Spoonful while Smiley was building Uber there. As they do trade Soldier Spoonful going down here. As we do hear Cats calling in favor of Supra here. We'll have to wait and see how they are trying to, or how they'll work a sack in here, possibly to get the force or get the sentry down just by getting their players in there.
Yeah, Frupcup pretty low. It looks like they don't know that Frupcup is still caught in water. He gets a bow and he's still going to work his way in there. It's still 6-on-6, so we're going to expect some sort of sack. This time the gun is in a pretty passive spot. You actually could potentially just bomb the medic here and the gun wouldn't really knock the soldier out of the way. But this time it looks like they just have a 1v1 happen. Rose does win her fight against Frupcup, but Esau get a kill onto Spoon, and Flak actually cleaned up Rose. That's 5v4. That's going to make this really difficult to hold, especially down 2 soldiers. The doors are just not holdable. But JFK picks off Flak on the side. Here comes a big spam, and there's an Uber exchange happening now. This Uber is definitely slightly better in the side of Big Pharma, but the players are just not going to be there for them, and they're going to have to leave. Smiley barely gets himself out. Oh, he gets the pack, and then actually, oh my goodness, Spoon comes in from the side, air shots the teammate, and that gets the kill onto, onto Smiley, and a kill onto Esau. Big play. Looks like here comes the all-in from attempt from Big Pharma. Both scouts trying to go in, but the soldier and the demo, Flak and the Void Joker, are just not there, and Supra cleans it up very nicely, and they're going to push out with their big player at.
Yeah, it does look like they were able to get a lot of pressure and a lot of space there, just by the way that they're playing. So just getting out here onto second, going possibly through Big Door here, waiting for the soldiers to get healed up, possibly go for a little bit of bomb out, check for traps, check for stickies, all that fun stuff. As they do work their combo out here through Big Door while the rest of them end up taking mid.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to go all the way into mid off their slim player ad. They were able to pick off the 2 players, which is going to help them secure mid. They're probably trying to go through second already, although, interestingly, Big Pharma has nobody spotting Big Door. They do have a spot choke. Flak gets a force into choke. It's so much damage and delays them so long, but oh my goodness, they're staying. Big Pharma is confident. They are going to use right back in. They get chuckled by Iron. They are going to get a kill onto Oak. Rose did work her way behind into River, and JFK is behind in lobby. Gonna be a big 2-on-2 fight. JFK gets the first kill into Esau as this push is happening mid from Big Pharma. Shoeshocker decides to leave with Smiley, but a Void Choker gets a bit caught. Shoeshocker, I think, is gonna get this kill onto Rose, and Flak is killed by Spoon behind, and Spoon is still in River. JFK did go down, and a Void Joker somehow got his way out. I have no idea how that happened. And somehow through all that, it's going to stabilize onto second. That was pretty interesting. It's a lot more chaotic than I thought it would be.
Yeah, definitely a lot of chaos. We do love a bit of chaos theory. I'm still waiting for a little bit more off classes. I know it probably won't be happening since we are sitting here at this mid, but we could possibly see a sniper off class coming here just to try and get a little bit of that add or possibly use in their favor, as we do see Red wrapping around here through little door into big door, um, and cleaning up quite a bit of Supra.
Yeah, big fight here going on. Finally, it's going to be pretty evened out, actually. Shoeshocker got another kill. Flak gets another kill on Iron, but does go down. It's now a 2v2, but I'm surprised they don't want to refight this. I think the scouts are slowly trying to chip everybody down. JFK, or excuse me, that's Oak, was surviving on 1 HP. But the fight does end up going in the way of Big Pharma. That looked really scary for them because they didn't have anybody spotting choke, so the players just got through choke for free on the other side, but it ended up working out for them because I think Big Pharma just ended up getting some nice kills in the post Uber, even though they didn't have any high ground. It looked like they overextended, but they made it work, and it's turned into an even Uber situation, although there's no like 10% Uber ad that there was last time. It's just a straight even Uber situation. Both teams building up, nobody doing anything for now, and I'm sure we'll see some sort of play here shortly. Maybe JFK will try to sack off and go on to Sniper, because I know he does like Sniper a lot.
Yeah, it does look like we do see Supra here coming in near big door, trying to get a little bit of a play, as we do see a direct hit Cats here, taking them down to 50 HP due to the lock and load being lock and load, as we do see Spoonful go for a little bit of a bomb through choke to try and get a little bit of pressure there, as JFK does end up going down to Frup Cup, allowing the rest of Big Pharma to slowly make their way out onto mid. Their demo does end up getting killed by a trap set by Iron, though, as we do have a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, here comes the big push in. Everybody into choke, but Flak, I think, ran out of ammo or just wasn't loaded, so he wasn't really able to hold down the choke. Big bomb for Flak, though. They do end up deciding to use, but 2 dropped players in the combo. That's really bad for the side of Supra. They're going to have to back this up. They're down a demo and a scout. I'm surprised Big Pharma doesn't want to push. It looks like they're just waiting for their players. Rose did work her way behind. She gets Esog and stays alive in River. That's huge. Spoon was also above, and Smiley went a little too fast. Shoeshocker was not able to get that kill. Shoeshocker's finally chasing Spoon. He's going to get out into River. There's 2 soldiers on the side of Supra in Big Pharma's River. Jump trade happening here. Flak is going to come in and clean that up. Shoeshocker finally gets the other soldier behind. But with that med dead, that's going to mean Supra is just going to work their way back in. 2 more deaths on the side of Big Pharma, and Supra is going to take this point, even though the round was about to end. They're going to secure it, and they're going to have about a 50-60% Uber ad here, and they're definitely going to use that, especially with the fact that they're about to get Uber, their players will be here soon, and there's not going to be a great setup probably, although I think Frup Cup will get this gun to level 2.
Yeah, it does look like they are trying to get that gun upgraded, as we do see a Pyro off-class coming as well. Trying to defend that sentry to the best of their capabilities. It does look like the gun is able to get level 2 before they are able to decide what to do here. Or it does look like they are getting ready to go through Shutter. They do end up using early here. Iron does end up going in. They do realize that the gun is on the other side. As the rest of their team slowly makes their way in. From Cup, it does come up on heavy. Does take a couple of pipes here, as the rest of the team does slowly trickle on the point, and that is another round in Supra's favor.
Yeah, that was interesting. They didn't have any early kills on that push, so I'm surprised that worked out, but I think what happened is just Big Pharma just over-chased after they had that point. Oftentimes, if you just play that around the fact that you have your own last and you have the reset there, that can really work. But Supra took the high ground on their, the biggest high ground on that last fight, so it worked out pretty well for them. Big double bomb here from Esog and Flak. So it looks like no kills are going to happen. As I say that, never mind, Esog gets the demo and med. Huge kill. Double bomb from the soldiers of Supra. They're able to get Smiley. A Void Joker is going to live, and it's now a 2-on-3, and Supra is looking to win this. They get the kill into Frup Cup, and now it's just a Void Joker trying to get anything he can. Rose will live on 11 HP. Oak will live on 4. That's a 1 fight on the side of Supra.
Yeah, that does look like Cats is waiting for the forward spawn here. Getting that forward here as we do slowly make our way back out to mid. We do have about even Ubers here, just a slight ad, about 5% coming out in favor of Big Pharma.
Here comes some pressure in from Big Door, 4 players, although they left Choke open again, and this time Spoonful's in onto Smiley. Smiley's very low. Spoonful does go down, but huge damage that allows Rose to get right back in, but Smiley got the pack, which meant he lived, and so Rose didn't get any kill. That's 2 soldiers down on the side of Supra, and I think Big Pharma is going to slowly work their way out here. They're going to already get Esog into drop down. He's already taking space for his team. The rest of his team is coming through Big Door. Esog does a really aggressive bomb, gets killed by JFK, but Shoeshocker cleans that up. Here comes the use from the side of Supra. There's a later Uber on the side of Big Pharma, although Frog Cup gets really low in the Uber, and Big Pharma had to flash a little bit more. Cats get juggled in Choke by a Void Joker, gets that kill. Flak is on Shotgun Pocket? Okay, I didn't even notice that before. Spoon gets a kill onto a Void Joker. Iron gets a kill onto Shoeshocker. And it's a 3v2 here, although JFK gets another kill. And it's just Fruck Cup and Smiley versus JFK. But Esau comes in and trades for JFK. And that's going to be a 1 fight on the side of Big Pharma. Although, as I say that, the 3 players, spawners from Supra come in, and here's the 4th spawner on the side of Supra, and Rose will be here shortly, and that's upcoming push, since the 2 players who just respawned on the side of Big Pharma are not in yet. Rose actually got in behind through Baby Door. She's trying to get a kill onto a Void Joker. Flak and Shoeshocker clean that up, so it's just going to be a second hold here.
Yeah, it does look like they are able to bait that trap out as they are fighting here. JFK does pick up a kill onto Flak, as the rest of Supra does end up going back onto mid. We do see Smiley having about a 10% ad here, slowly building it out. We do have even Ubers now, just getting that cap time onto mid, as we are down to 7 minutes left in the match before banning config does come into effect.
Yeah, continuous overtime is very interesting because it'll mean that the round score will probably not get to 5. I mean, I kind of expected it on Gullywash, but you never know, you never know. It's going to be even Ubers here with Big Pharma controlling mid. They're going to have to get something going. Looks like they tried to get Esog in through Baby Door, but Iron had a trap set up, so that's going to be a dead Esog. Nothing's going to happen there. Spoon, I think, was trying to go for a drop-down play. It didn't work out. Flak got that kill, and he's able to work his way out. He's actually still on Shotgun Pocket. I don't know when he switched, but he's been on that for a few minutes now at least. They have 1 pick, so they're trying to have Flak with the Shotgun Pocket bully his way out, and it does not go well. You gotta be very careful about walking slowly as a soldier. And that's just a failed sack, and I think Supra is trying to go for some sort of... They're looking for some sort of counter sack, but there's not too much available. Drop down is being watched by Shoeshocker, and a Void Joker's got some traps set up. Although not much on Big Door, but I think they're just doing a little bit of light spamming, and nobody on Supra really needs to commit for anything. They have 2 rounds already, so all they need to do is win 1 more once that continuous overtime happens, and they win the first map.
Yeah, it does look like they were able to get at least a little bit of pressure going on, as we do see the rest of... Goodness, I'm sorry, my mind went blank. Go for it.
Okay, so we have JFK got a kill onto a sacking in Flak. Nothing happened there. And it looked like they're trying to get another counter sack going. This time Iron is pressuring with stickies through Big Door. Rose did get in through drop down, but Shoeshocker did spot her, although Shoeshocker eats a direct, but a Void Joker comes in and saves Shoeshocker's life. And that's going to be an evened up situation here. And it's just going to turn into another sack, I would assume, although you would want Big Pharma to go in now while they're down a player, but they're so low that it's not going to be as, you know, as easy for them as they might like. Frup Cup gets killed by a trap from Iron. Iron gets a pipe onto Esog. That's 2 kills on the side of Supra. They get 2 players in, Spoonful and JFK, but JFK is very low. Rose gets a kill onto Flak. That's a huge 3rd player. Big Pharma's in a really bad spot. Shoeshocker's going to get caught. Spoon is behind. He went through Big Door. They just were too slow to leave, and that's a drop. Spoon is just bullying his way right back in, gets a kill into Frup Cup, and now Big Pharma's in a really bad spot because Supra has full Uber out, and they're working their way into last.
Yeah, we do see Flak does end up dying for trying to off-class and forward as heavy. Very unfortunate. Oh, man. It does look
Yeah.
like they are able to get their players going in here on to last, as we do see the Uber come out. Very big ad, trying to get a little bit more pressure here, um, trying to get everything moving on. As we do see Esog sitting on point, trying to make sure that no back cap happens. JFK is fighting on right, does end up getting two here. Smiley going down, and it does look like that is another one in Supra's favor.
Yeah, that looked really bad initially for Supra, but getting that demo kill on Avoid Joker right at the end, although he did get a trade, but the demo is so important on last, especially when the Ubers are over, that oftentimes that can just mean, like, spell you losing the round once you lose your demo on your own last. We're going into this fourth mid here, I believe. Yep, fourth mid. Here comes a double bomb from the soldiers of Supra. They actually go up the other side. Flak went for a shotgun bomb, and it's just a bunch of chaos here. Smiley does live, but is very low. Esog is behind. No kill onto Cats, Supra's med, and Esog does eventually get killed, and Frepcup's just going to leave with Smiley, and they're going to go back to their own last, and it's going to be an even Uber situation here on last. That was a very, very interesting mid.
We have secured the control point.
Yeah, very interesting mid indeed. As we do see Supra here able to get that second point out, or second point capture already, building those even, or building the Ubers out to even it. As we do see the rest of the team slowly making their way into lobby here, as we do see 2 minutes left on the clock before banning config kicks in. So we'll have to wait and see if they want to maybe run out the clock so that they can get that banning config win, or if they're going to go and try and get that 5-0.
JFK's already worked his way into water. Looks like Esog knows, but they're not going to commit for anything too big. Iron's getting a ton of spam from the launch pad area. He does kill the sentry gun that was trying to be set up after Rose got the first one. Here comes a bomb from Rose. Shoeshocker doesn't get a good deny, and Rose does get a kill into Frupcup, the NG, so no gun there. But no med kill is going to mean that's not too bad on the side of Big Pharma, although they won't have a gun up. So I think Super is going to try to get a sack going before Frupcup comes back up, although as I say that, Avoid Joker gets a trap kill into Spoonful on the shutter. Flak did try to go for a quick counter sack, but was not able to get anything. Did get a lot of damage onto Cats, but Cats is safely able to live. And it looks like it's going to be another sack situation here shortly. We'll see what happens, although, as I say that, Spoonful's on Spy. Was it JFK? It was Spoonful on Spy last time. We'll see if he gets something again.
Yeah, I do want to see if we can get another play coming out here. We do see Shoeshocker peeking at, peeking at other class or off classes, and it does look like Spoonful is caught out here from Shoeshocker. Really wanting to make sure that oh, the drop coming out from Flak and River. Very nice play from Jump Pad there.
Yeah, and that should be spelling the push out here. Here comes 6 players on the side of Big Pharma. They're gonna have to be careful what they do though, because you don't want to let any back cap attempts happen here, especially when they're down some players. Esog's trying to work his way out. Rose going for a very interesting high bomb. They don't know about it. Gets the drop onto Smiley. That's huge. Shoeshocker just missed clearing the left. That's 3 down. Esog gets the kill onto Rose, but that's 4 down. JFK did switch onto Sniper to try to get some picks, but that's going to be brutal for them. There's just no players left alive. It's just Frupcup, and Frupcup's going to try to defend. So is Avoid Joker, but that's not going to work. And that is the first map 4-0 in favor of Supra.
Really good showing coming up from both teams there, but unfortunately it does look like Big Pharma was not able to pick up a round. Once again, really good showing from both teams, as we do want to take a look at logs here.
Yeah, I can't wait to see these logs. There was a lot of med drops, especially in like even in main. I'm surprised there were from what I remember, it looks like they were yeah, that's what happened. Smiley had 4 drops, and Cat still had 1 drop, but that's going to be brutal. You know, drops are something you never want. Looking at the stats here, I mean, it looks like Iron was just absolutely able to farm this game. I think he just wasn't getting pressured enough. Like, there was that time on Launchpad where he was able to just completely throw so much spam out for pretty much no pressure at all. And I mean, yeah, you kind of need to pressure the enemy demo. Anyways, we're going to be going on to the second map here shortly, which is Bagel, and decider map, if we need it again, will be Clear Cut.
I am looking forward to seeing how both these teams play on Bagel, as it does seem like they both do want to play aggressively. So we will see, or hopefully we'll see a bit more back and forth when it comes to Bagel, compared to compared to a slower map like Goalie.
I'm looking at the stats here. Cats took 93 damage per minute, which was like more than 50 less than Smiley. That's honestly pretty crazy. I don't know if that means just like Cats was just baiting more, or it could have been multiple different things, but that's very interesting. We're going on to the second map here. I don't know if excuse me, Big Pharma has any tricks up their sleeve, because they're going to need some if they want to, you know, get back into this game. I'm looking at the kills, and JFK was definitely getting a ton of kills, had 27 there, even on Flank Scout. But Oak only had 8 deaths on Combo Scout, so that's really going to help. Yeah, I mean, besides that, there's something crazy I see on the logs. I mean, then again, as I say that, though, I mean, Iron had 308 DPM and only 182 taken, and that's already a big difference. Alrighty, and looking at these teams on Bagel, Big Pharma did win both of their Bagel matches, and Supra won both of their Bagel matches, but I believe these were both against like more middle main teams. Yeah, both had like, they were either like mid or lower record main teams, so nothing like too unexpected or anything like that. Curious what we're going to see here on Bagel, especially because I was hearing that Spoonful was having trouble like meeting or like coordinating well, but that does not look like the case here. It looks like Spoonful is coordinating really well. I don't know if they just had a crazy talk after last night or something, but they look pretty solid.
Have is to try and make sure that you can get that coordination, especially when it comes to maps like Bagel, for instance. Is you really need those coordinated plays to be able to get.
Yeah, you need to be able to coordinate so that you can get some pressure on the point, you know. And on Bagel, even though there's a short cap time, still just getting some pressure on that point just to help your combo scout get that cap so you can just overall win with that time. It's really important. And obviously, you still have to be worried about those flanks, which are ever present, especially if, you know, if one soldier knows that their respective soldier watching their house is dead. You can oftentimes get through your respective house for free, and then you can start threatening things from behind, paying attention to what the enemy team is looking at, and that can really cause a lot of chaos. And as long as you guys are, you know, your team is coordinated, it can be very destructive, especially if the enemy team isn't coordinated. A lot of you know, plays like that really come down to how well your team is coordinated and communicating with each other.
Yeah. Coordination, coordination, coordination.
Yeah, say it in my sleep so much.
No, I believe I am at the same distance. Did my microphone become quieter? Oh God, I'm sorry.
Okay. I see. Okay, no, I was gonna say I see someone on sniper in the pregame, but it's just cats because I was wondering if we'd see a little JFK sniper on Koth. Not as effective on Bagel as it is on especially product, which isn't in the map pool for main this season. So not gonna see anything crazy like that. But I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see some pyro shenanigans from somebody on either of these teams. That can happen sometimes, or you know, some sniper could happen. JFK could go sniper. I mean, I'm unsure what to see from these teams. To be honest, on Bagel, that seemed pretty. I mean, it was pretty chaotic on even on Gullywash. So I wonder if it's going to be like that chaotic, more chaotic, or if the teams just have, they have any like different mindsets on what they want to do on Bagel, because there was a lot of different plays where both teams were just trying to do flank shoves, where you send both your roamer and your flank scout behind direct quickly through that flank to try to catch them off guard and then threaten that back cap. But I don't know if that's necessarily going to be like translate to what what both these teams want to do on Bagel or any game plans they have.
Yeah. Hopefully they can keep up that flank pressure, especially on Bagel. You really need that to get anything moving, really. You need to make sure that you have your players prepped and have that flank pressure so you can get through main and or mid without having to worry about getting pressured from both sides.
Yeah, especially because even a little bit of damage from your soldiers in one of the houses, even if they're not over aggressive, like if you get some damage, even just like a little bit, it can be enough to straight up completely change the like the way a fight goes for the combo of fighting the combos fighting each other on point. And even a little bit of damage, even like as little as 60, can potentially catch out a player, especially if they potentially get juggled by a rocket. And one death, especially on like a demo or especially on your demo, can be completely alter the fight.
Yeah, just getting that pick on the demo, as you mentioned, can definitely just change the course of the fight. Especially when it comes into more like push circumstances where you need that extra damage. Really important to keep that ammo alive.
Yeah, I remember now that we were seeing some loose cannon and some lock and load, and I think even a little bit of iron bomber. I'm looking at the logs from Avoid Joker, so I don't know what he's going to switch to on Bagel. I'm assuming there's not going to be any loose cannon because it's a little bit more open, but I'm curious to see if what we'll see between iron bomber and lock and load now that lock and load's a lot more popular. Excuse me.
Yeah, I feel like the lock and load didn't get as much popularity as it did until it got banned in Highlander. But then again, that might just be me because I play more Highlander than sixes.
I mean, a lot of it was just a few different players showing how powerful that long range spam can be. And, then just people realizing, okay, I don't really want to keep taking these long range pipes, especially medics, having to deal with long range pipes from the lock and load can definitely be somewhat infuriating, but it's definitely not, completely uncounterable, of course.
Yeah, making sure to. I think one of the things that really is a thing to go for is how impressive some of the direct pipes can be. Like I don't know, just seeing a lock and load getting air shots compared to a standard one or a standard launcher. I don't know. There's something about it that just seems more clean.
Yeah, it can honestly be. I mean, it's just the faster projectile speed is just so important because it just means your pipe is just going to go closer to where you aimed it, so you have to do less predicting on the arc, which just means easier shots, including easier air shots. It's not like air shots are guaranteed though. You still got to make sure you're air strafing and all that stuff because if you're not air strafing, then you're just making the air shot way too easy for the enemy team. Uh, but yeah, no, the lock and load definitely. I mean, it also has like a different, it has a clearly different sound. I don't know if that like plays a part into it as to what it feels like to get an air shot with the lock and load.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like in that same vein of the direct hit, where it's just it rewards you for getting those direct pipes, and I don't know why, but it just feels 10 times better than hitting them with the standard variation of the rocket launcher and grenade launcher, respectively.
One thing we haven't seen, I'll say, is direct hit, and I think that's probably gonna stay the same. I think it'd be a little bit crazy if we did get some like crazy direct hit shenanigans, like changing in the meta, because Splash damage from soldiers is so important. But we're going live into the second map of Bagel, and I don't see any like crazy off weapons or loadouts or anything, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it does look like both teams are going for a default mid here, trying to make their way slowly onto point. As we do see Iron spamming here on left, and we do see Flak and Frup Cup coming over here from right house, trying to get that pressure in. As we do see the rest of the team just trying to slowly make their way out into the mid here, getting that point or Pharma capping that point while the rest of the team or rest of Supra does end up slowly falling back. They do go for a little bit of a forward here on Plat, as we do see the soldiers bomb out from flank here, making it so that they can no longer hold that forward.
Yeah, Esog and Rose Rose gonna get a kill into Esog, and Spoonful traded, but it's now 3 down on the side of Big Pharma. They're gonna take an Uber exchange to try to delay a little bit longer, get more cap time off. Their Uber is definitely worse. Flag is very aggressive here. It looks like he's gonna get caught in by this Uber. He actually gets bow, but JFK gets the pick onto Smiley because Smiley went for that bow. That is brutal. It's now 2 down on the side of Big Pharma. They are gonna go for that all-in sack. Cats is very safely in the other house. Esog does get 1 rocket off, but because of that only getting 1 rocket off, he's gonna have to show himself, and Supra is ready, and Oak even gets a late kill. That was really brutal. It was really interesting because Flak on that first fight, like they were doing a flank shove on that right house. There were two people on the side of Supra ready for it, and then Flak just gets an early kill anyways, and they use that pressure to take control of the point. As we see here, an attempted forward hold break from the side of Big Pharma, though there's a lot of pressure here from Supra. They're locking it down very well. Here comes the pressure from the flank, though, from Frup Cup and Esog. They grab Iron. That's a huge demo pick. They're going for an immediate flank here. Esog gets a kill into Rose. Frup Cup is going to get stuck fighting both scouts and the medic. JFK gets that cleanup kill. Is going to be behind fighting Shoe Shocker in a 1v1. Shoe Shocker is very low. JFK finally gets cleaned up. Flak gets a kill onto Spoon. And although there was a lot of time gone, I think with those players, Big Pharma is going to cleanly get this cap. And Supra, I said, wasn't going to go for anything, or I thought they weren't, but they are going to go for something. Smiley at 99 just gets Uber in time. Here comes the counter use. I wonder if Cats will be caught. Flak, I think, just gets the position, and Cats gets caught on a little bit of geometry, is going to go down. And now Smiley just have to make sure he preserves his life, although a couple kills got traded out. Supra didn't go for anything crazy. I think they're waiting for spawners. No, they're trying to get players in position on the flank so that nothing crazy happens, although Avoid Joker with a nice lock and load pipe onto JFK forces him out. And the point is still safely in the hands of Big Pharma, and they have about a 15% Uber ad.
Yeah, and it does look like coming into this next fight, they will be trying to come through this right-hand side here, as we are trying to get a little bit of pressure. Both flanks are really trying to hold together here, as we do see Flak and Frup Cup taking a lot of damage, as we do see Cats going down to a Crusader's crossbow shot from across the map.
That was just, Cats just got low, and then Smiley was just like, I'll just throw out a bow. That's... I don't know what that was. That's absolutely absurd, and that's going to lead to Big Pharma being able to retake the point quickly, even though it was an attempted flank shove. Here comes the 4-person sack into Big Pharma, trying to get Smiley, but Smiley was safely tucked away in main. They do get 2 kills, but Spoonful is low. It's going to go down very late to Frup Cup eventually. Oh, Shoe Shocker is going to get that kill, and but since that was not really a successful one, Big Pharma is going to have a nice big 50% Uber out, and they're going to have an about even time on the clock. This is a good situation for Big Pharma, although they did lose their soldiers, so they're not going to be able to forward hold. But there's just some aggressive traps, and Frup Cup spotting this left door, and because there's no soldiers, Super just walks through that right door, and they're already going to be fighting the point shortly, because they're only down 20% on Uber now.
Yeah, getting that Uber is going to be really important, as they do seem to go for a little bit of a sack here. It does look like Esog and Flak do end up going down here, as the rest of the team do slowly make their way in. It does look like there is an exchange coming out. Demoman was able to get saved on the side of Supra. Very good use coming out from both teams here.
And
You see Spoonful get a double kill, and Avoid Joker also gets a double kill.
yeah, there was a sort of recollapse there. Spoon went in from behind, did a lot of damage. Shoeshocker gets killed by Katz's bow. There's only 2 alive, but Oak is going to be able to safely protect his med, especially when they back out. The time is definitely in the favor of Big Pharma, especially because they retake the point, but they are down on Uber, although as I say that, it's only like a 15% Uber at this ad because it was a trade. So this is actually looking really good for Big Pharma. Supra has to fight this now, even though they don't have Uber. Spoonful's very aggressive in the house. Esog is already ready with a lot of aggression, kills Rose early. There's some counter aggression from Frutcup here. A bunch of fights happening. 3 players on the side of Supra low, but no real kills happening. Although, as I say that, Esog gets a kill on the Spoonful. Avoid Joker gets a kill into low Oak. JFK is trying to fight, doing his best to fight on top of the point, but Esog with no rockets loaded does come in behind, and that's going to help clean that up. Katz goes down, and that's the first round for the side of Big Pharma. Well played.
Very well played, very well played.
And we're going into the second round here. I wonder what we'll see differently. There was a lot of predictive holds in this left house. They bring a scout, you bring your scout and your soldier gets set up in a really good spot in order to prevent the flank shove from the enemy roamer and flank scout going in the house. And it looks like that might be what's happening here again. This time they have their heals though, and JFK and Spoonful collapse on those kills. Big play from them, and they just completely read Big Pharma. Shoeshocker is going to get picked off as well, and they're going to have to get out. You got to be careful. You don't stay too long, and they did, and Spoonful just grabbed a huge 3K. Big mistake there on the side of Big Pharma, and now they're at a full Uber disad, almost, about an 85-90% Uber disad, and they're going to have to break a forward hold, and, you know, they don't have points. So this is not looking as good. Not a good sign for their second round.
Oh, it looks like we do have Avoid Joker coming up on Quickie Bomb Launcher. Wonder what they're gonna do with that, as they do slowly make their way out here, launching a couple of artillery strikes. Flak does end up getting JFK. Avoid Joker does go for a little bit of a sack play, does end up getting Oak. Is not able to pick up the kill on a Rose as Spoonful comes in and clears that right house. Spoonful going for a little bit of a jump. Does look like they are going to get caught out by the scouts here.
I'm surprised that worked out so well. I think maybe Katz is just caught a little bit in the doorway and they got a soldier in behind, but the 2 soldier bombs from the Big Pharma soldiers, they got a very lucky 110 direct onto a scout that was buff and knocked them down, so that scout just could not deny the second soldier, and that 4-person sack just got in very successful. And even though they're down about 40-50 seconds on this round timer, they have a 40% Uber ad and a forward hold, so that's good for them. And Avoid Joker was using those quickie bombs to try to delete the stickies. Here comes the 2-soldier sack in. Smiley has a soldier behind him. Esog and Frupcup get a kill. There's still the 4-person sack. Rose gets in from behind, and she does get the force onto Smiley. And that was exactly what they Supra wanted out of that 4-man sack. And even though they're down on time, they're going to have a nice full Uber out, and they're going to use that. Flak is holding with a big buff 300. I think he's trying to catch people rolling out into this top right area. Although none of them rolled out top right. Big. Wow, that was a very interesting decision and worked out well from them. I don't know if that was like planned or whatnot, but Spoon just works his way out through left. Oh! Boy, Joker does get the kill onto Katz.
The drop coming out, very unfortunate, as we do see Frupcup and Shoeshocker getting Oak and Spoonful respectively. We do see JFK going down here from Avoid Joker, as we do see Avoid Joker going for a little bit more play with that Quickie Bomb Launcher, as the Quickie Bomb Launcher is not being as much of a deficit as one might think it would be.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of Quickie Bomb Launcher in the advanced playoffs specifically. I've heard a lot of players are using it just because of the downside of the Quickie Bomb Launcher is obviously the fewer stickies, but each individual sticky is just going to do more damage because of the way the stats work with the faster charge time and damage buildup, I believe. Here comes the aggressive Uber from Big Pharma. They're trying to catch out Katz, but they realize it's too late, so they're going to have to just try to get these kills. JFK is behind, and he's fighting Flak. Flak gets a ton of damage on JFK. They're both very low, and they're just going to work their way out. I think Frupcup goes back to try to chase, but nothing happened there. Esog and Shoeshocker go aggressive, trying to get a kill, and Cats dies again to Esog's bomb. That is huge. And Frupcup and Smiley are just going to go behind, try to kill this behind player in JFK. Void Joker got a kill. JFK living a long time. He actually wins the 1v1 when Smiley is healing him, or healing Frupcup. That is brutal, but it's this is still looking really good for Big Pharma because they're just outplaying them. They've got a 50% Uber ad here, more like a 60% Uber ad, and they've got the point only 15 seconds left once they cap. 16 seconds to be precise, and since they have that Uber ad, Shoeshocker's already going to be pressuring the point back. Cats is very low again. He gets down to 8 HP from that damage from a Void Joker. A flank shove here. Black and Spoonful are going to trade kills. A Void Joker gets a kill. JFK pushed through with a bomb from Rose. She's behind now, and it's a 4v3, but there's an Uber ad here on the side of Big Pharma. Esog's going to live getting the kill onto Rose behind, and Shoeshocker's going to already be pressuring that point.
Yep, getting that point pressure, especially with that time deficit, Pharma is able to get a lot of that cap time onto the point, ensuring that they are not able to really, make sure that they're not able to get that cap time, as they are using here to ensure that they are not able to get any cap. Cats does end up going down here at 75%. Spoonful is standing on top of Nipple here, able to get that point locked down as the rest of Supra is able to come in here and clean up very nicely.
Yeah, but one thing that's important that Big Pharma is really happy about, they got the med, which means they're not going to have to worry about Uber, and they actually got the point to overtime, which means if they cap it at all, they win the round. Supra's going to have a hard time because they really have to make sure no cap happens. They're going to have to put a lot of damage and presence into this. The health is still going to be favored on the side of Supra, although as I say that, Cats eats a pipe. There was a shove going over here. Esog and Spoonful trade. The cap does not go through because there's a lot of pressure from the side of Supra. Frupcup gets a bit more time, but JFK gets that cleanup kill. That's looking really good for them, although Big Pharma does have a 25% Uber advantage. Oak is very aggressive here and actually loses, gets the kill onto a Void Joker, excuse me. But there is a 15% Uber out, and Big Pharma's going to have to go really fast because they need to. Oh, it's crits, excuse me. The crits comes in. Esau gets the kill onto Iron. A big kill onto Rose. Does not get any, or gets another shot onto Rose. Does not get any kill, though, because Cats end up using Uber, but right at the end, and it didn't really matter. And now it's just a big fight, but there's just not enough players. The spawners are coming in. A Void Joker for a desperate bomb for the point. Gets a kill into Spoonful. They do have some cap time, so they're going to get here in time, but it's going to be very difficult from Big Pharma.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult to come in here as the rest of Supra does have the point locked down. They do have they do have even heals. They do need to be careful, though, as the rest of their team is slowly coming in. A Void Joker is able to get onto that cap point, and that is another round in favor of Big Pharma.
Wow, that looked really bad at the end there, but there was just too much clumping up on the side of Supra, and then Flak just jumped onto the point, and the scouts just were not there to stop them. You got to be very careful about standing on point. There's definitely the fear of letting the enemy team cap, but if you put too many people on the point, you're too clumped up, and one explosive doing a bomb like that on clumped up players can just mean the end of the fight. The Void Joker is still on those quickie bombs, and we're into this third mid fight here.
Yeah, and it does look like Void Joker, as you mentioned, is still on quickie bombs. Hopefully, or maybe we'll be seeing that for the rest of the match, as it has been doing a bit of work here. If we do see Frupcup coming in and having this 1v2 going on in right flank, as it does seem like the rest of Supra is slowly making their way onto point.
As you see that, Rose got behind, got the kill into Smiley. Esog got 2 more kills on a 3K, and Shoeshocker's just going to clean up that point. The fight eventually goes the way of Big Pharma, but because they're going to have a Uber ad, and they already had 20 seconds down on the clock, Super is not you know, they're still happy about the situation because they're going to get their spawners up sooner, and they're already working their way right back in, and that time advantage is null and void here. I'm assuming we're going to see some sort of 4-man. Esog is really aggressive in this left house, actually catches out the medic and gets the early force. Frupcup might be caught out here, but everybody else is going to get out. Frupcup actually works his way out through right. Big play from Esog getting that early force, and that's going to allow an early refight on the side of Big Pharma. Smiley with a nice bait, letting Rose die to Shoeshocker. Oak gets a kill into Flack, who was trying to get some help, but just too much pressure from from Supra, excuse me. Big Pharma's trying to work their way onto the point. They have about a 50% Uber ad, 50-60%, more like 55, when Shoeshocker's trying to get some cap time. Spoonful through the right house is going to go behind. Frupcup does know about it, but that'll instantly draw some players back. Flack does get that quick kill, though, and already some more cap time. Smiley's very aggressive on the point here. Esog is back in this left house, so not any, like, flanks can happen there. And Shoeshocker did not get the cap. He finally finished off that cap. Frupcup went behind with Flack on the flank, and they actually just kill cats. Nobody was watching the right house. Flack is still behind, gonna get that kill. And this is really good now for Big Pharma.
Yeah, they really were able to just walk through that right flank house. There was absolutely nobody watching it, which is very good for Frupcup and co, but was not as good for that medic, as we do see a little bit of a disad coming out, with it coming in Pharma's favor. As it does look like they did get forced. It does look like that Uber ad will be in favor of Supra now instead of Pharma.
Yeah, just lost too many players, and Supra did a nice job just forcing it out, and they got pretty much everybody out for free. So now they're going to already do some retaking here. Flack is a little bit distracted, so he isn't going to get any crazy pressure here going. Well, as I see that Esog and Flack with an absolutely nuclear bomb, along with the Spam of Void Joker, they're going to get the demo and med. That's huge for Big Pharma, and now all Big Pharma has to do is make sure they play together, play around their heels, don't lose Smiley to a flank, which JFK is already on the flank, but okay, the Blue Scouts, no. They're already going through the right. They're trying to catch him out. A Void Joker somehow lives?
4 HP.
He just got shoved by like 3 people and lived somehow. I have no idea how that worked out. A little bit of a beef from Supra, but that's 2-player ad on the side of Big Pharma. They have a 55% Uber ad now, and this is looking really good for them because they also have less time left on the clock.
Yeah, it does seem like they are going to bust out here on this right-hand side, as we do see Rose going down and Iron going flying through choke there. Unfortunately, they were not able to get any cap time, but they were able to get that Uber out from Smiley. So they will have full ad coming into this next fight, wherever that may be from.
Flack gets killed trying to go for play. Frupcup did a psycho play, just walked directly into into Spoonful behind with 185 and just ate the direct rocket. Esog in with a big bomb, is not able to get, actually does get the force onto Caps, excuse me. There was another sack that happened. I believe there was just 2 players that went down for that. And it's going to be about a 50% Uber at on the side of Big Pharma. They're already trying to push out with 2 players down. This is a little odd, but I think Supra is just not in position. They're too low and they're just not ready for it. And Big Pharma actually just they just bust through the hold when there's nobody set up, and they're already going to start pressuring off the point. They have more than a 30-second time advantage, and they have a big Uber advantage, although Smiley does not have Uber yet. Rose did go for a bomb behind, but she doesn't commit. JFK gets a kill onto Flack. Smiley is very low. He's getting pistoled down. He does manage to get Uber right at the last, or right in time. And there's a big aggressive Uber ad here. Esog is trying to catch out everybody with that Uber. Just a huge wipe on the side, or Supra wiping, and Big Pharma being really happy about that, because now they're getting a big hold going, and yeah, this is going to be really good for Big Pharma. It's going to be hard for Supra, because they have 10 seconds to break this hold, and they have to get time on point, and Big Pharma's holding this down.
Yeah, and it does look like they are able to get through that right-hand side, as we do see Flak going for a little bit of a sack. Unfortunately, it did not end up going too well. They were able to get a little bit of pressure, but they were not able to pick up any kills there.
Yeah, Esog traded early, but then all the kills just went in the favor of Supra. I don't know if that was just some crazy damage or anything, but that was just absolutely brutal, because that should have been really difficult for Supra to win that, but then they won that with 5 players left alive. But Big Pharma did get it to overtime, so all they had to cap once, but that's going to be difficult because Supra just got Uber. Cats finally has that Uber. Shoeshocker's already doing some pressuring. Esog is behind, trying to fight Rose, but does get picked off. She gets a nice kill there. Iron gets 2 kills onto Fructup and Shoeshocker with the aggressive Uber, and Big Pharma is going to definitely lose this round because it's just Smiley. He goes down, and that's the first round for Supra on this map. And we'll see if that bodes a poor sign for Big Pharma, or Big Pharma was able to keep the score going up for them and get themselves to map 3.
We'll have to wait and see if we do get the map 3. Or, yeah, we will have to see if we get map 3. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I took a little peep at the logs, and Avoid Joker is absolutely nuking. He's almost 2 for 1 damage positive on this map, which is very good. A little bit even. Nobody goes for any crazy aggressive plays here. People are just looking for some buffs. There's 2 people in the right house, as per usual, on the side of Big Pharma. Rose did go behind as Esog wasn't watching the house. There's a bunch of kills happening here all over the point, but the kills are definitely going in the favor of Supra, and Rose catches out Smiley because Rose was still behind, and that is a big win for Supra. They just had so much control over the house, and then I think Esog just was a little too distracted getting a buff and not watching his house, and that flank just completely threw off the whole coordination from Big Pharma. And now they're going to have to work their way out of a forward hold and with no Uber, but they do somehow get through right very easily.
Yeah, they were able to get through there. It doesn't look like anybody was really watching that, as Iron is able to pick up a kill on Esog, and Rose is able to pick up a kill on Flak. It does look like Super will be using, or they did use on point, possibly a Force. I wasn't exactly watching that time.
Yeah, it looked like that was just something they've done before, where they just sack 2 soldiers and just let their scouts, demo, and med walk out. They're going to already work their way through left, but Super wasn't set up, and Shoeshocker and Flak combine onto a kill onto Rose early. And here comes the aggressive 4-person sack in. Smiley with some nice dodging, does eat a bit of sticky damage, but is able to live, grabs the full pack, and although as I said that JFK is hiding in this little right nook, they do know. Wait, no they don't! Fruckup didn't see him! What? He's still behind in the left house. They have no clue. And they're setting up a forward hold. They just don't know. JFK has to be very careful. He can't touch point or else he'll tell them that he's behind. But he's trying to figure out his way forward. Flak gets a kill into Spoon holding. JFK is finally figuring his way out. He gets in on behind onto Esog, gets that kill, but doesn't get anything else. But that distraction allows Supra to get the Force in. And there's a big collapse here from the soldiers who got to the other door. Rose and Oak combining for a ton of kills, including Smiley.
The Basher kill!
And that's a huge win for Supra. Wow.
Oh, goodness. That was quite a play. As the rest of the team was able to come in after JFK was doing that flank play, was able to disrupt a soldier there, as the teams are slowly making their way through main here. We do have a little bit of a forward hold going on. We do see a little bit of sack going on. Flak is not able to get any value off that, but does end up getting a reset on their respawn timer.
Yeah, interesting, because you gotta be very careful with dying separately, because you get that later respawn wave. So, and it was only a few seconds because the other team has point, but it's still 5 seconds down there. Because you died later than your teammates who had died trying to bust through. Spoonful does get caught by Esog. Rose is trying to get that kill, but Fructup is there to trade out that kill. So it's 5v4 now in the favor of Big Pharma. It's even Ubers here. Shoeshocker's already pushing the point. Here comes the aggressive Uber from Supra. Frupcup is also behind in that left house. Flak does get behind in the right. Iron gets very low, and I think is going to get cleaned up here. Shoeshocker finally gets that kill, but JFK just walked through left, got the kill into Frupcup, and it's now 4v5 in the favor of Supra. And they do also have a ton of time on the point. Esau going for a bomb, but very low, is going to get cleaned up by the scouts. It's now 3v5 here, it looks like, and Shoeshocker got a kill and is somehow still alive. I have no idea how he's not dying, but here come the spawners from the side of Big Pharma. They're gonna get another kill and force Supra out, and Supra is content to just back up, just wait for their soldiers to respawn, and they'll be pushing in shortly. They do have about a 10% Uber ad. It's not really useful, although as I say that, Flak goes in really aggressive. They're trying to get this fight on these players who they think they're caught. Oak gets the kill onto Flak. JFK just comes in from the side and gets a kill onto Smiley. Oak kills Esog, and that is going to be brutal for the side of Big Pharma. Rose is going to grab a 4th kill onto Shoeshocker, and it's only 10 seconds left. This is looking almost impossible for them, or for Big Pharma.
Yeah, it does look like, unfortunately, Pharma will not be able to get any of their players on a point here, and that will be another round in favor of Supra.
Big turnaround on the side of Supra TF. 2 rounds in a row, and 2 rounds away. As long as they can prevent Big Pharma from getting 2 rounds first, if they get 2 more rounds, they win this match, and we don't go to a 3rd map, which would be clear cut. But here we go into this next mid fight.
Yeah, it does look like a little bit of standard play coming out from both teams here, as we do see the quick bomb launcher getting used by Void Joker. Cats does take a pipe, or not a pipe, does take a sticky there, but they are able to get, what do you call it? The pressure they need to get a little bit of cap time, as Supra is able to get that cap time and hold on to that point, while the rest of the team is slowly making their way onto point to try and get a little bit of frags, but they can.
Yeah, again, this time, they just weren't, Esau just wasn't ready for that left shove. The left shove came in, Esau gets caught out. That causes Big Pharma to try to kite into right and lean right, and then they're a little bit too distracted by the left side that they get caught out by the players on the right, and they get absolutely wiped. This is going to be very tough for them to hold. Void Joker is on quickie bombs to help delete those normal stickies. Frupcup tries to go in very aggressively to try to get that early force. Here comes the 3 explosive classes doing their bombs, and they do get the force onto Cats. Void Joker's going to die very late, though. That's a long respawn time. But Smiley and Shoeshocker are out safe to spawn, and they're going to have about a 30% Uber ad that they're going to have to work through, work with, but they have to still break the forward hold. And Rose is hiding in main, although Frupcup instantly spots her and is going to grab the kill. Although Oak is fighting here as well. Oak gets the kill into Frupcup and gets himself out.
Very nice play coming out there from Oak. Was watching for people to come through that right-hand door, but it does look like they were able to pick up a kill instead on Frupcup. As we do see a drop come out from Smiley there.
Yeah, Spoonful got that drop. Here comes Frupcup in, deals tons of damage to Cats, but can't clean up the kill, but a Void Joker gets in right at the last second, cleans it up, gets another kill into Oak as well, and is still alive, finally goes down. But even with all those trade kills, I would say maybe going in, that's pretty even in terms of players, because they got the med second, but they're down 2 minutes on this round timer, so this is going to be an uphill battle for Big Pharma.
Uphill battle for sure. They really need to get that cap time as they are able to get it. They are hanging on to about a 30% Uber ad. It does look like Smiley does end up going down to Rose. There is Flak and Shoeshocker are able to pick up kills onto the enemy soldiers. A Void Joker is still hanging out on Quickie Bomb Launcher, and it seems like Big Pharma will be able to hang on to the point for the moment.
That was a nice sack in from the side of Supra, and Rose hit a nice shot onto Smiley, grabbing that kill. That means they have a 50% Uber ad and a bunch of time advantage. Esau going in for a very aggressive bomb, but it's just by himself. Oh, as I say, that Flak goes in as well. He does trade with a soldier, but the problem with doing these solo sacks is that it's a lot a lot more difficult to get the actual force, and Cass just was able to kite very effectively. They do aggressively use, and they kill a Void Joker with it, but that might not be that worth it on Koth, because now Smiley has that Uber advantage again. It's about a 60%, 50-60% Uber ad, but that time delay might be worth it, just getting that kill onto a Void Joker. But Big Pharma just pushes out almost immediately, gets through. They get the kill onto Rose, who was hiding. She was trying to go for some play. Esog is in fighting JFK, and we have a pause.
Does look like there was a lot of stuff going on there, especially in favor of Supra here, as the time was ticking down quite closely.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the situation, Esog is most likely going to die to JFK because I think he still only has one rocket loaded, and JFK is still 109, so unless you get a direct, that's going to be pretty difficult. Let's see. The other things to note, Katz is it looks like Katz is going to safely work his way out of main here, so that Ubered is not going to be able to catch Katz out. But besides that, it looks like it's just going to be some pressure once Big Pharma gets in. I wonder if this is a tactical timeout from Big Pharma. Maybe they lost the third round and then they're like, okay, we need to pause, figure out what's going on here, Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering what they're going to talk about, if that's what that is. It could be a technical pause too. Unsure at this point, but yeah. Hopefully everyone's doing well tonight. Be sure to check out that Fireside merch. Yeah. Besides that, there's nothing like huge going on. Flack's probably going to go for some sort of play through this right house once the game unpauses. Yeah, the rest of the team on the side of Big Pharma is just going to go pretty aggressive, I would assume. Just trying to get this cat, maybe catch out Cats, but as I said, I think Cats is pretty safe where he is. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if we'll see any. What do you guys think? I think JFK is going to get this kill pretty cleanly, but who knows? Maybe Esau gets this kill somehow. What do you think?
I don't know. I think JFK picks up that kill on Esog. I don't think Esog is able to cleanly get that, especially with that rocket damage. They'll be taking about like 60 damage with that rocket, so even if they do end up getting the kill, they'll be very unhealthy.
I mean, he's already low, right? Isn't he already like. What health? He's 47 already, so I think even if he somehow gets this kill into JFK, he's dead regardless, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Very quiet here now that we've got this pause going here. I don't know if there's anything that Supra thinks they need to change. I don't know if that's their pause. I'm assuming this is a Big Pharma pause, but I could be wrong. It could be Supra pausing after they won the 2 rounds. Not 100% sure, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, there's been a lot of flank shows, and preventing the flank show specifically, which I've noticed, where you have the soldier and that scout in the left house with your soldier in a really strong position prepared for that flank show, and it's worked really well preventing the flank shows. But the big thing I think recently that's happened is Supra's really just gotten a lot of shoves onto Esog in that left house, and it kind of breaks down everything else because Esog gets pressured out or dies, and then everything else just collapses. Not 100% sure if Big Pharma knows that that's the issue and they're ready to fix it, or if they've got any other strategies potentially, up their sleeve. You definitely want to pull those out now. This is a playoff match, so get those going because, I mean, you're not eliminated if you lose this match here, but going into losers bracket is still not ideal, obviously.
Definitely harder to get out of loser brackets than it is to just stay in the winners brackets. As it does seem like we do get the unpause. JFK does end up getting the kill onto Esog.
Yeah, and it's just a very, let's see, it's a 3 versus 3 here. Looks like Smiley looks like stuff is a little broken for me, but Cats is about 80% Uber advantage, and we'll see how this fight goes out, because Supra is just going to walk through for free because Big Pharma isn't holding it.
Yeah, it does seem like both teams here are even Ubers. They are able to get a little bit of pressure going on, as they do want to make their way forward. Oak being able to spot those traps, as the rest of Pharma does end up getting hurt. Shoeshocker was looking at their med for some reason during that exchange, or before the exchange, and did end up getting killed by Oak. Oak is able to gun down a couple more people and does spot this scout on the flank here. Able to get a couple of clean shots, as we do see JFK coming over to clean up.
Yeah, we're just in these last seconds here. The players are just not in favor of Big Pharma. They're going to go down, and that's 3 rounds on the side of Supra. 1 more round, and they advance to the next round, and Big Pharma has to win 2 rounds in a row if they want to bring this to map 3. I wonder what, I think, let me see, it looks like that was, okay, it looks like that was a tactical pause from the side of Big Pharma. I want to make sure they can fix some of their things, their issues, so that they can make sure they win. A little bit of early damage here onto Iron on this first fight, but other than that, nothing huge. Spoon has a bit of, both soldiers have a bit of presence in their own house. Spoon is very prepared, just sitting up here aggressive, waiting for this inevitable flank shot, but he's not putting out any pressure, and I wonder if Big Pharma realized that, and they're able to just completely ignore him. There's a bunch of cap time going out for Supra. Here comes a bomb from Flak, and he's getting in very aggressive, gets Iron low, but Iron gets a bow. Shoeshocker is going to get some aggression going here, but Spoonful got in behind. Esau gets that kill, but then 3 players go down on the side of Big Pharma, and Supra just wins that fight, and now it's going to be an even Uber situation, and Supra's got to work their way out of this forward hold.
Yep, they do have the forward hold going on. It does look like they will be busting out through main, possibly, as we do see a couple of players coming through main here. Their combo is in main as well. Really making sure that they are able to get at least a little bit of pressure. It does look like both teams did end up using Pharma's Uber was a little bit better. They were able to clean up a couple more kills as they are making their way slowly right. We might see a little bit of a wrap coming out here with the amount of pressure that Iron was giving, but it doesn't look like Iron was able to pick up anything, as the rest of Big Pharma does end up rejoining the battle and turning the tides over on this fight.
Yeah, they're going to secure that cap with the 3-player ad there, but they are down a mid on the timer, so it's not as ideal as they would like. Esau gets very low, is going to get saved by Frup Cup coming over at the last minute, and they're going to try to set up their forward hold pretty quickly. It's even Ubers here. They got to get this set up quickly, or else Big Pharma is not going to be able to hold this forward hold very easily. Void Joker's getting some spam. Rose catches like 2 direct pipes, does a bunch of juggling, but gets herself out alive somehow, thanks to the help of her teammates. And Supra's going to just work their way in here slowly. They're going to eventually get some cap time from Oak. Shoeshocker trying to deny that. A lot of aggression from Iron here. And Rose is able to get a lot of spam here. There's even Ubers here, and yep, Shoeshocker wants that Uber this time. Flak got a kill into Spoonful. There's an Uber exchange happening. Shoeshocker got the kill into Iron. This is really good for the side of Big Pharma. The Uber was longer on the side of Supra, but they're down 2 here. Although, as I say that, the players on Big Pharma are very low. But there's actually a lot of low players on both sides. Oak gets a bow. Esog gets killed by JFK. Flak got in and killed Cats, which is huge. And now all that Big Pharma has to do is they really just got to make sure they protect their med and don't lose too many players. JFK coming in here from the side is going to start pressuring annoyingly. Shoeshocker just completely destroys him, though. Unlike normally, where I think the fights for the scouts have been going in the favor of JFK just in general. But with a 50% Uber at and 30 seconds on the clock, this is looking a lot better for Big Pharma and their chances of getting onto this 3rd map.
Yeah, it does look like the amount of pressure, or the amount or not the pressure. Their gameplay has swapped a little bit from that tag pause, so hopefully they are able to keep that pressure up and keep that momentum going into the next map. If they are able to get this sweep back under their control.
Wow, really aggressive Uber from Big Pharma, and I think Avoid Joker got a little bit tilted maybe because he went very aggressive for the chase on the cats, was not able to get it, and now they're at a big Uber descent, although they do have over a minute time advantage here, so this is not as bad as it might seem for them. Big high bomb from Flak. It looks like they're ready. Cats is completely baiting that, and Flak is not able to surf away or, strafe away to get out in time. One low player on the side of Supra, but I think that was Rose who just got herself a pack. And Supra gets the point back immediately, and they have a 30% Uber out, so they're going to be able to hold this for a few seconds because Big Pharma can't really do any crazy pushes right now until they get Uber. Smiley has to be very careful that he doesn't get too overextended, though, because they do not have Uber yet. Iron getting very aggressive, a big flank push on the side of Flak as JFK and Rose do their own flank shove. Here comes the aggressive Uber. Flak got the kill into Spoonful. JFK gets a kill there, and there was an Uber exchange because Cats got forced. Smiley does die at the end of the Uber, but there's two soldiers behind. They clean up everything now. It looks like Cats goes down, and it's just Oak who gets the sword kill on the Shoe Shocker at least. But he's going to go down, and I think now Frupcup is just waiting for Shoe Shocker to respawn, and then he's going to finish off this cap. And it's going to be about even Ubers, but nobody went back for Smiley, so it could have been maybe a little bit of an Uber ad, but it is definitely not Uber ad. It's even Ubers, and Spoonful was already walking out. Esog was trying to go for a little bit of cheeky play, but did not get anything, and it's going to turn into a another fight here shortly because Super already worked their way out.
Yeah, and it does seem like they were able to get at least a little bit of pressure there, as they are able to get cap time back up and going, as they do not want to let them get into OT here, trying to deny that as best they can, as we do see Smiley barely staying alive here at about 20 HP. It does look like Frupcup is trying to go for a little bit of damage, as Cats does get a kill on to avoid Joker. But kills coming out here are a little bit crazy. We do see the arrows flying here and there.
Yeah, a lot of cap time for Big Pharma, but just too many players, they can't really get anything. Rose does decide she's going to go behind, but Esog is rolling out and having to just catch her for free. And now it's going to be an even Uber situation here. All that Big Pharma has to do is they have to get this cap and win it for 5 seconds. Shoe Shocker takes an Uber exchange here. It looks like it's slightly better on the side of Supra. They get the kill onto Shoe Shocker in the end. Frupcup very low, but Big Pharma did manage to get the cap right at the end, but they're down 2 players, which is going to mean this is very difficult for them. Spoonful with a very aggressive bomb here. A lot of cap time. Esog does do a bomb as well to try to get a bunch of space. Frupcup trying to hold off the point, and Frupcup goes down. Super gets the cap. It's 10 seconds left. This is going to be a very tense fight right at the end. Both scouts are on the height this time. This time Oak doing a lot better of a job staying on that height, not clumping up too much, and everybody just gets destroyed at the end when everybody on the side of Big Pharma clumps up on the cap. And that's 4-2 in favor of Super on this second map, and Super is going to win this series 2-0.
Very, very close battle coming out from both teams in that Bagel, or on Bagel. Very, very close.
Yeah, that was honestly a lot closer than I thought it would be at the end. It looked like Big Pharma had sort of picked it up, but then, it ended up just not being enough, it looked like. But they had made it, they brought the game back a lot closer. Looking at these logs, looks like Oak was absolutely popping off in this game. He did have 33% heals, but he was definitely doing well. 47 and 13 with 4K more damage dealt than you take. That's what you want on your combo scout. There's a lot fewer drops on Smiley this time, but I think just a lot of those different house shoves were really hurting Big Pharma, and they were constantly getting shoves in. They were shoving into I believe that was Oak and Spoon, just set up on the right side, ready for them to do that house shove, and that was just costing them a lot of these key fights.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate that that tac pause didn't really help with their flank problems. But at the very least, they were able to try and fix something, even if it was in the middle of the match.
Yeah, I think these combined logs are getting up here shortly. I can't wait to see these. I can't wait to go look at these. It looks like these are up now. Let me see if I can get these pulled up. Yeah, I'm looking at the combined logs, and I think Iron was just doing a lot of damage and barely taking any. And Oak was pumping out a lot of damage as well. But, I mean, the deaths still look pretty even on the side of, the meds. 30... Wait, okay, never mind. Sorry, there were 29 deaths on the side of Smiley and 20 for the side of Cat. So definitely slightly favored for Supra there. They were the higher seeds, so that was expected for them to win, and they'll be moving on. They'll be facing Chief Keep in the upper bracket semifinals, and then Big Pharma is going to go down to the losers bracket, and they'll be Omnicide. And I believe that match is planned for tomorrow, actually, maybe both of those matches. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, that was a very back and forth game, it seemed. Although, or at least on the second map, the first map looked like it was a bit more in control, even if it was pretty chaotic. But yeah, that was a good game. Thank you all for watching. Do you have any shout outs, Flaurosa?
No. How about yourself?
Well, always shout out to Doctor _ on production. Production is always amazing, and shout out to all the viewers and the players for putting on a good game, or the players for putting on a good game, and the viewers for being here. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Have a good night.